Hey guys, it's Pete with Kraken Spearfishing. Wanted to give you guys a brief overview on us again and what we are able to provide you guys. We are an educational site first and foremost. We want to get the word of spearfishing out to everybody. This is a sport that anybody can do. It is a purely individual sport at its nature. It is just you and the fish, and above that, as stated before in our previous videos, it's more getting out and exploring. There's a great world under there that you don't know. The shipwrecks, the other sea life down there. The Great Lakes are an untapped resource to most, and it doesn't just provide the water that we love, the jet skiing, the boating, the beaches. That's really fun, but to truly see what it is beyond that and underneath the surface, to dive in and literally explore areas that people may have never seen before. And we dive a lot of the same spots, and I'm here to tell you that it hardly is ever the same thing twice. Even if we go the same place every week, it's always different. There's always different fish. There's always different activity. And it's a sport that you take as far as you want to. So you can make it as hard or as easy on yourself as you desire. That's why it's a great sport for anybody interested in getting into it. At the base, it's snorkeling. It can be just that. It can be you're just on the surface looking down. You don't always have to have a spear gun in your hand. We encourage everybody to get out there and just try that. To see the life, to see the fish, to see the activity. Even if you go where there's just a sandy beach, swim out a little further, as long as you're comfortable. In the end, it's all about being comfortable. The gear we use, the wetsuits, the weight belts, the fins, it's all about comfort to us. You don't need all the fancy stuff. It does make it easier for us, and it does make it easier getting further into the sport. The longer fins that you'll see in the videos are more free dive specific fins. They enable you to kick a little faster, and a little more efficiently, and not have to use so much energy to go as fast underwater. But you can get started with as little as a snorkel set from a local sporting goods store or big box store. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. The wetsuits, getting later in the year like this, they make it more comfortable. They make it more apt for you to want to spend the time in the water to see these things. Again, if you're not comfortable in the water, this isn't going to be a sport for you to begin with. It's all about being comfortable, taking that extra step out there. You don't have to be a strong swimmer. You don't have to be athletic. You don't have to be a good hunter to spearfish. Learning the basics, learning how to just float, to get out there, to breathe through a snorkel. We're here to teach all that. We're not certified free divers. There's no really such thing as a certified spearfisherman. We're guys who have done it long enough and have the experience, and have the proof of it with the fish that we get, and know the area well. So we like to do our classes locally, and encourage anybody to come up, no matter where you live, and experience this. There's a big buzz about spearfishing on the coast and in the ocean, and that's awesome, and I really wish we were there to do that. There's a lot more fish to take, and it's a lot more of an adventure. But being in the Great Lakes, being in the freshwater, you don't have the same dangers that you do in the ocean. There's really no little to low risk. I won't say no, because you're in the water. There is always a risk. Safety is #1 priority, but you don't have the sharks to worry about. You don't have any of the poisonous creatures or any fish that are going to attack you or anything like that. It's very, very, very safe up here, in that sense. But being comfortable and being getting used to it is what we provide. We can help you with that comfort level. We can help you get used to being in the water, show you some techniques. So getting back to getting into the sport, in Michigan you need a fishing license, and that is about it. The spear guns, it can be a decent investment, and we understand that, and we understand if you're new to the sport, you know, you really need a spear gun to go spearfishing. We get it. But taking that initial jump to go get one is very difficult to justify. So we provide that for you, and we encourage you to come out and give it a try first. There's not many places, if any, that I know of that will allow you to come out and try this sport out to see if you like it. Free of charge either. I mean, you want to try jet skiing, you got to go pay for it. You want to try boating, you got to go pay for it. You want to try wakeboarding, you got to go pay to rent the gear. Scuba, the same thing. We don't want to do that. We want to be different. We want to be the company that says, hey, you will love this, and you will, I guarantee you will love it. Anybody who's ever went out with us enjoys it, whether they get a fish or not. It doesn't matter at the end of the day about the fish. It's what you see down there. It's feeling like you're flying. It's an awesome experience. And we want to encourage everybody to come out and do that. And we don't want finances to be in that negotiation aspect of the sport. It shouldn't be. If you want to get into it, you can go out and spend $3,000 on a spear gun if you really want to. Or you can spend $150. It really doesn't matter. You don't need a $3,000 spear gun here in the Great Lakes, that's for sure. But it's, again, all about personal preference and choice, and we can help you with all of that, and that is all always going to be free. We're going to come out with shirts like I'm wearing now, a little bit better, a little bit more designed. We're still in the prototyping stage, and that's what we want to bring to you is for the people who love to spearfish already. There's not much of a, hey, this is my sport, this is what I like to do, and to wear something outside of doing that. You have your typical name brand shirts with a logo on them, and that's about it for your spear guns and for your accessories. You don't have a company to stand behind that says, hey, we can get you from hardly ever being under the water more than swimming on the beach to feeling so comfortable in the water at 35 feet down underwater holding your breath hunting for a big fish. There's bigger and more fish in these lakes than you think. I mean, there's, aside from the salmon and sturgeon and stuff like that, which you can't spear anyway, but that doesn't stop you from seeing them and checking them out, and for us recording them so you can see that. Those videos that we post are not for just entertainment. They're to show you that, hey, this is possible, you can do this. A lot of our videos, we're not very deep. We're 20-25 feet deep, which is a short breath hold. And most people right off the bat can hold their breath long enough to make it down there. If you can't, that's fine. You can stay on the surface and still see most of the beautiful stuff down there. When you learn to hunt more and you learn the aspects of spearfishing, you will gain that. When you go after the sport and you fall in love with it, you will push yourself more and more and more to get the fish, to see the stuff, and that comes at your own pace. We're not going to push you to dive that deep. We're not going to push you to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to enjoy yourself. We don't want you uncomfortable and because it makes you unsafe, and we don't want that. We want to introduce this to people, like I said, and we want to make it something that's enjoyable and that can be more spread across fresh water. I mean, out in the ocean, like I said, it's a big deal. And it should be. It's a lot of fun, but there's no reason it can't be here. You just don't see a whole lot of freshwater people spearfishing, and it's a very, very fun, adventurous activity. It can be super exciting. It can be super relaxed. Being in the water, for me, having back pains from work, having joint pains from doing electrical all day, being in the water like that is almost therapeutic. It stretches out your muscles. It gives you that anti-gravity effect where everything kind of lines back up. And you don't have to push yourself. You just have to float. You float and breathe. You don't have to kick your fins very fast. And as you'll learn to spearfish more, the slower you go, the more natural you are, the calmer, the more smoother your movements, the better of a fisherman you're going to be. The last thing you want to do is spook fish off trying to swim like mad towards a fish. It doesn't work. And those are things that you'll learn with us. and these videos to come. And obviously, in the wintertime, our diving times drastically drop. We still go diving in the winter. We have the gear for it. We limit our exposure out there, and all sorts of that. And we'll get into that in future posts and videos. But we wanted to give you less excuses to not try it. We don't want the finances to be an obligation or an excuse. We don't want oh, I'm not going to be comfortable in the water. We can start off slow. We can go farther if you're a more comfortable swimmer. We can adapt to your level and still have a lot of fun and still show you a lot of cool things. And getting a spear gun in your hand if you so choose, or not. If you want to just come out and dive with us and see the things that we can see and show you, that's fine too. You don't always have to spearfish. In fact, there's a lot of times we'll go out and dive and not take our guns with us. There's just not a need all the time. It's still just being in the water and being about that and seeing that activity, even in the middle of winter when there's barely any activity. The amount of things you can see underwater in the winter with the water being so cold and clear and less vegetation, and when there's ice over it and everything's calmed down, you can see for forever. It's beautiful. It's seeing that kind of like that sunset effect. You'll stay out late to watch the sun go down over a beautiful horizon. It's really no different underwater. In fact, I would liken it to be way more beautiful than that even, because it's something that you rarely see besides on maybe National Geographic for people not into diving yet. So come out and give it a try. We're always here. We're always online. I'm always answering as fast as I can online anything that you guys, any questions you guys may have. So we want to put out some more educational videos, and we'll go into the guns we have, like back on my wall here. We'll go into rigging them for people who need DIY type videos, and we'll get into this more this winter as our diving times calm down. We'll continue to post dive videos when we do go out, obviously, and all this is just to show you what you are missing, and there's really no excuse for you getting out there and trying it. It needs to be something that you do. I guarantee you love it, and it will be something that you can teach your family and show your family that you did. It doesn't have to be Cancun that you go diving in. It doesn't have to be the ocean. It can be right here in your own backyard, if you're local, just like most of us are. And that's our audience we're trying to captivate and trying to get across to. I wouldn't be going through the effort to do all this and start this company if I didn't feel very passionately about this and very aware that it needs to be spread and the word needs to be spread and people need to know about this. This is an untapped resource that people just don't think, oh, hey, let's go snorkeling. I mean, you have your scuba divers that like to do wrecks and whatnot, and that's a big financial investment, and there's not that here. Better for you guys. At the end of the day, we want everybody to be entertained, but we want everybody to be educated, more importantly, on this sport. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody that's following and liking us. If you haven't liked our videos or subscribed on our YouTube channel, please do so. It helps us out. Again, we're not making any money off of it, but that's not our concern. We just want everybody to follow along and hopefully get some education out of this. Again, that's all we're here for. So I appreciate everybody again, like I said, and have a good night, and we'll continue to post good media for you.